What's up guys, this is Void of Death Gaming, your channel for fresh Arena of Valor content, and today I've got a gameplay for you with one of the heroes that I don't really play that often. I've just checked the results on him and I've got less than 20 games with him with an average win rate of just roughly above 40%, so I'm not really performing that great with him. Why is part of today's gameplay. You guys are going to see for yourself what I am actually capable of doing with him, and we're talking about the beetle assassin Kriknak, who is basically a glass cannon who is pretty strong in terms of delivering some damage, but you need to be super careful because he is squishy as hell, and you guys are going to see that in the upcoming gameplay because what the hell, a stiff breeze is going to kill you if you don't play really cautiously. So let's see if I'm able to pull that off. Speaking of Kriknak, I want to go through my equipment first. This is a pretty standard build on him. I think many players do use this kind of build where you got a lot of damage items in here with the Soul Reaver, Rank Breaker, Omni Arms, and Fenrir's Tooth for stacking up some damage. Then we're using Gilded Grease here for the crowd control resistance, and then I'm throwing in some Blade of Eternity just because I think I'm going to die quite often, and therefore I want to have this kind of check that I can be revived while I am about to attack or go into deep dive into the enemy's backline. Arcana wise, I'm using something plain and simple, which I am using as my marksman warrior build. As you can see, normal attacks plus 45, armor pierce, and movement speed are the components. And if you want to recreate it, use 10 times onslaught, use 10 times assassinate, and use 10 times skewer. And what this Arcana setup is doing is it's basically making you stronger in the terms where you are actually quite good. As I said, normal attack increase and the armor penetration, which is actually quite important for him because you want to strike as deadly as possible with your alpha strike. You don't really have the tankiness or the health pool to stay long in a fight, therefore you need to strike as deadly as possible. To complement this kind of build, I'm using Lockheim here as my core enchantment with Curse of the Death as the last enchantment in the line, with Deadly Claw to boost our power even further, and Raging Inferno. While this is not something that is going to stack crazily with attack damage, but rather ability power, I'm still using it because the other alternatives are not really that good with him. And in the second line, I'm using Enhanced Restore as well as Gunslinger to boost our surveyability a little bit further. But this is the build, and let's just see how I was performing in the upcoming gameplay, shall we? So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we are with the actual gameplay. It's actually going to take quite a while, and I can't remember every single detail of it. Basically, I just know the outcome because I have played it a couple of days ago, but I'm trying to comment in the best way possible to actually give you my insights and thoughts, what I was thinking when I was doing certain things. So, first of all, as always, I want to talk about our team composition. We've got Astrid here in the solo lane against Elaine, which I would say is a matchmaking in favor of the enemy. Elaine is way better than Astrid. I mean, she has been nerfed in the jungle. Otherwise, she hasn't been really touched in quite a while in terms of her strengths and skills. But still, she's basically a decent performer. And Elaine, I would suggest he is better suited for dominating the solo lane. But we're going to see if the individual skill of those two players are actually going to kind of make this suggestion work, or if the individual skill is a little bit better and Astrid has the upper hand. We're going to check that out. The game needs to tell, and the results. In the mid lane, we have the really strong UA here against a revamped, just in terms of the appearance, a revamped Alistair. So Alistair is not really a strong hero to write home about. He's got great crowd control capabilities, which is actually quite nice for me as an assassin, because it means that I might just enter a fight that has been heavily changed because of his skills, but otherwise I would say Yue has clearly the upper hand. She's one of the strongest mages in the game so far, and I think she can basically just dominate Alistair out of the lane. But we're going to check out if that's the case in this game. Jungling wise, it's Zephyr's against me. We've got a complete different playstyle, so I'm more some sort of assassin bomb, and the Zephyrs is more sorts of a tanky player, and I think that is going to be actually quite interesting. Who is going to perform better in this team composition here? I mean, he tried to invade my jungle quite early here, but the blue buff was on cooldown, so he doesn't really get too much out of my jungle. But right now I'm back in his jungle just in order to make it work and see if we can make a play here. So I just stole his stuff, and now it's time to get out here. And talking about the last sequences, oh my god, that was bad. Talking about the last positions in the team fight, we have Hayate with Gildur versus Alice and Telenus. Telenus has the range advantage, but Hayate is just one, if not the strongest marksman in the game right now, and I think it's basically even. Gildur has great threat potential because of his S2, which is also slowing people down, and he is a crowd controlling machine, and Hayate has got just the best damage in the game, and therefore I would think that we should dominate the dual lane. But we're going to check this out in a couple of minutes to see if my point has been proven or not. So I would say the beginning of the game was a little bit rough. As you can see, I've got 2 kills, and I was killed 2 times already. So not really the best score in my opinion, but we are here to continue with a Abyssal Dragon, and oh boy, that was close. But I would say we cleared it quite nicely. Unfortunately, Zephyrus has not been killed in the aftermath of this fight, but it was short of being so, and now I do get a really nice double kill here, because Gildur set up the trap really, really nicely. He got both enemies in his ultimate, and now is the time to get a Zephyrus. So Zephyrus, come here. But yeah, he's just too tanky. The problem with Zephyrus is, even if he's really, really low, he's not really being that easy to kill, because his passive is just stacking up armor, and therefore, even if a low health Zephyrus is kind of offering, you should not always go for the bait, and as you could see, my power wasn't sufficient enough to kill him, and therefore there was another kill for Zephyrus in this scenario, which is actually quite bad. I should have known better, because I just released a Zephyrus video lately, and it's going to tell you something. So, shutdown here for Hayate. I don't know why he was roaming down so much. Like, he really, really made some kilometers here in this game, just by the fact that he was traveling down an entire battlefield. But yeah, I love these players who say, like, look, this was not a 1 versus 1 fight. Yes, this is a team game. Did you really get this? Like, it's not something that should be new to you if you have played the game for a couple of hours or days or something. I don't really get it. I don't really get it. Elaine was Elaine was really pissed. He was actually a little bit toxic, and I don't really get it, because it's a team game. People are playing in teams, and therefore, of course, you try to put forces on the spot where it's actually helpful. And sometimes people don't really get it. I just don't know the cause for this, but it's always kind of entertaining me that people are actually thinking, okay, I'm playing a lane game. It's 1 versus 1 all the time, but yeah. So we made a good entrance here. I would say the kill on Yue was actually quite helpful, because otherwise she's able to just stand behind the tower and just put some shots into us. Unfortunately, the tower has been close to being defeated. I was able to just repel it, and there is a kill on Elaine. I think that is not going to amuse him in any kind of way, and now Astrid is trying to get, I would say, some help onto us, but she completely forgot about the tower for a couple of seconds, and I just had to remind her, look, there's something which is even more important than getting some farm from things. And I saw an opening here to get the Darkslayer because Astrid was offering her as a bait. I don't know if that was intentionally, but it just gave me the time to go for this really important objective. And now is the time to get straight away, because 3 enemies against me, that's not something that I can deal with. I am an assassin, and therefore your playstyle should always be not to be the first to enter the fight. Let Gildo and Astrid do the work in this kind of team composition where you've got 2 more sorts of tanks. Let them do their play, and as soon as your team has softened up the enemy team and all the ults have already been used, that's your time to strike. This is not something that you should take half-heartedly. Your role in this fight is to get in when the fight has already started, and then put everything you got into the most valuable targets, which are, in this case, UA and Telenas. Those are the targets that I need to take out of the game, if possible. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. Now I need to be super careful. Trying to get away here. Yes, it kind of worked. Okay, we are safe. And I was just going straight back to base after this encounter. There's not really that much that I can do against 2 to 3 enemies, not in my current state. I need a lot more items to be actually that deadly as I want Kriknak to be. And I just thought it might just be the right decision to get out and get back alive. Not grant the enemy any kills. So as you can see, the enemy is pushing quite heavily in the mid lane, and this has given us the time to get into the fight and put on some shots here. Again, your other people should lead the charge, and that was executed really nicely. We do get a double kill here. Unfortunately, I wasn't the kill leader, but Hayate got his kills, but that's fine. It's just fine. If Hayate is the one to lead the charge and who is getting all the benefits from it, so be it, because this guy is just going to be crazy all over the place. We do get our kills here. That's a nice double kill here for me. We do get Elaine, and we do get Zephyrus, which is actually quite comfortable because it just means that I can take his jungle completely unattended. He will not respawn for a couple of seconds, and therefore I was able to stack up my Omni Arms, so I'm quite fine in terms of my itemization. And I just thought that now is the time to get to the Darkslayer and kill him without any problem, because the enemy was just not paying any attention or did not have the resources to. And this is the way you should play the game. If there is an open window to get one of these bigger objectives, you should always try to go for it and kill it. That move wasn't too clever. I think if you are on the push, you should not overextend in the way that you're using your ultimate. Unfortunately, I did. Here we go. This is dead Astrid and dead Zephyrus. So I think that was really badly played from the enemies. And now we do get another kill here. So 10 kills already. Scoring has been really good. And I think that kill from Telenas was completely unnecessary. I don't know how she was able to kill me, if she had red buff or something up. I couldn't tell from the replay. But yeah, that was completely avoidable. They shouldn't do it. But sometimes in the thick of the fight, when you are completely hyped, you are just doing things, and things are going to happen, and you can't do anything against it. So Astrid is now way too close in the enemy base. As you can see, they really having a hard time, and now Gilder had to use his ultimate in order to protect himself and Astrid, but I don't think that it will be sufficient enough to get out, because not only Alice but also Zephyrus are chasing him. As you can see, there is the kill for those two, and now is the time to get in and get back to Zephyrus again. And yeah, another nice kill for my team. Unfortunately, not the double kill for me, but I think the enemies did not really do a good job on getting in, and I completely fucked up with my ult. That was poorly played, really poorly played. Good job that my team was here to help out, but I should have used my ult later on. Used it way too early, and therefore I left a lane unattended. But look at this Hayate, he's just doing so great. 9-0. This guy is completely carrying the game. I think with me, 11 kills are not something to be ashamed of, even if I've got 5 deaths already on my kill count. But I would say my KDA is still looking good with 17 kills / assists already, and I think we had a major impact on the game. Now is the time to finish it off. So most important thing is to get a team fight, not really split, not broaden up the fight too much, and then it just means that I can just pick up the scraps from the fight as I was doing here. But my team has been reduced to just few bodies. It's just me and Gilder fighting against Yue, and she's not someone that I want to fight one by one or straight to the face, because she's just packing a punch here, and I don't really have the items to do something against it, because she just has the AP advantage, and I'm not building anything to protect myself. So I'm building it completely glass cannon. I think that is the way that you should play Kriknak, but of course it is demanding a cautious playstyle. You need to wait for the perfect window to open up the fight, and if you don't have it, you rather not want to enter, because otherwise you're just going to be dead and not really that helpful for your team. So basically I'm about to be full build very short in a very short amount of time, and yeah, this was bad. This was bad. This was really bad. We did not really take the momentum of this fight into our means, and therefore Zephyrus was able to get a triple kill. Good thing that Hayate and Alistair were able to clear it out, but they completely caught me off guard. I wasn't really thinking that they were about to enter the mid lane from the jungle. I think I should have thought about it. So I just wanted to highlight that my Hayate can take red. I don't really think that he did it. But if you are in the last or late stages of the game, it's completely fine to let your damage dealer, who's also really good on avoiding being killed, to get the buff, because that is actually something that will help him in the upcoming team fights. Hayate is about to push the lanes. So now is the time to focus on one of the last game actions here. But the communication wasn't that good. As you can see, we're splitting up. Now we're following around, trying to catch the enemies by surprise. I would say positioning is a little bit bad here, so I need to wait for Guild, and I don't know what that was. I think he misclicked or something, because otherwise I cannot really explain how this was working, because so far Gilder was doing a really good job on positioning his ultimate in the best way for our team, and this ultimate just seemed to be a little bit off. So I would say this is the perfect time to get back into the action to get the Darkslayer. As you can see, the team is occupying us, but we really need to commit everything that we've got on this. Gilder is a little bit too deep into the enemy ranks, and I don't really think that this is that helpful, but I don't know how you feel about it. I was able to kill 2 enemies in the retreat here, so I think it was actually quite okay-ish because it's 3 down on both of the teams. Hayate is still alive, so this is important. 12-1. Oh my goodness, this guy is just doing so great. But all in all, yeah, Astrid is the one who's basically doing not that much in the game. 0 kills so far. She wasn't able to do anything to Elaine in this game. And I am questioning her itemization here. Why would you build the Sancti here if you've got more or better items to use? I would say she would be more beneficial if she would use a sort of hybrid tank build here. So focusing on the items that deal the most damage, for example, Fenrir's Tooth. Spear of Longinus is fine. It's a good hybrid item to basically do what we need right now in the team fights. But I would say that this item that she has been building with the stuff that she got is not really in our favor. So now I need to be careful. I just opened the fight again with little to no result. Yue is still alive, so that's a really, really big threat. I'm sorry that my ping seems to be a little bit on the downside here, so the game seems to lag quite a bit. But now we saw the opportunity to go for Darkslayer. As you can see, the enemy is already approaching us, so we need to be super quick. And I just saw that this would not have any use or whatsoever, but I used my item here in order to at least get the Dark Lord. I think that was really important to secure this for our team and to get back into the fight, and there's not really that much that I can do against the lane. So I've been killed here, and I think that was completely worth it because we did secure Darkslayer. But now is the time for the last best action. We really need to push it now in order to win the fight because we've got all but one tower. Enemy is still struggling. Their tower game wasn't that strong, and I think that is that's the advantage that we do have. So we did really do a good job on getting the towers, and now it's basically Hayate against this, and we don't really need the Darkslayer. I think he could have even done that a little bit earlier. So Hayate was completely dominating the game. That's really nice to see. So Hayate, if you stumble across this video, great job. It was a pleasure to play with you. And whatsoever, we won the game, and that's everything we asked for. So I do get a triple kill here. I think that's actually quite nice. Damage dealt isn't too crazy, like 21.6%. I was thinking that he was doing even better, but I'm still struggling with Kriknak because this glass cannon playstyle is not really doing any good to me. As you can see, I've been dying a lot, 9.7. Damage output is actually quite fine, but Gilder has the best damage in the game. And yeah, that was it. I hope you guys liked it. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, consider to subscribe, and leave some comments in the comment section below. Keep it up. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.